Okay, Lamaisa, we are holding, actually we're holding page Shim Lamed Hey, the next page.
Oh, Shin Lamed Hey?
Page Shim Lamed Hey, Siv Beis. Next page. Next page, Shim Lamed Hey, Siv Beis. Now, Lamaisa Azoi, let's talk a little bit outside what we spoke until now. We're going to go further. Tonight we'll finish the Siman. We'll move on to a new topic. We spoke that Chazal or Mechayev, that a person, we need to ask Hashem for rain during the rain season, which is called Yemois haGeshem. In other words, the winter. Now, before we ask, before She'ela, we have to be maskir, we have to mention Mashiv, hoRuach, uMorid haGeshem. This is because we mention Hashem's power to bring rain. Before we ask for rain, we are supposed to first praise Hashem for the fact He has His koyach. So the haskara we do is we start on Shmini Atzeres. We start mentioning Mashiv, uMorid haGeshem. The actual Shaila, asking for rain, depends where you are. In Eretz Yisrael, they started already. They started saying from Zayin Cheshem to saying Talamater. We don't start till much later. We start like in the beginning of Chanukah, which is December 5th, which is 60 days after the full equinox, called the Tkufas Tishrei. Now the reason for this differentiation is like this. One is supposed to ask rain at the time when it's necessary for rain. As soon as the planting season starts, that's when you should really ask for rain. So Lamais in Eretz Yisrael, really right after Sukkot, we should ask for rain. On Sukkot, we're not going to ask for rain. It's a Simon Klala. After Sukkot, Isur Chag, we should really ask. The reason why we don't is because we wait till the last Eid of Oil Regel. The times of the Beis HaMikdash, there was a Chiyuv and the Shalosh Regalim. And for Klal Yisrael to be Oil Regel, to go up to the Beis HaMikdash and to bring a carbon there, Oil Sri'iyah. And it took 2 weeks until the last Yid got back home to the river, near the Euphrates River. It's called Nahar Pras. Since it took 2 weeks to travel, we don't want to start asking for rain while these individuals are traveling, because it will be difficult for them. They didn't have such roads like we have. Even when you're in a car, it's difficult. Imagine without a car, without paved roads, what it was like when the rain. The mud and everything. So even though Klal Yisrael needs rain already, majority of Klal Yisrael is home, majority of a majority, we still will wait for Abbas Yisrael. We wait for the Achim Sheb Yisrael. He did a mitzvah. He was Oil Regel. He shouldn't have any suffering on the way back. So Zayin Cheshvan, 2 weeks later, we start to ask. In Bavel, the meaning was, when they lived in Bavel, they went to Babylonia. That was the first Yishuv, sort of like outside Eretz Yisrael, where Klal Yisrael had moved to Bavel after the Churban of Bayis Sheni. So, what did they do in Bavel? So in Bavel, they did 60 days after the Kufas Tishrei, the full equinox. That's when they did it. Why? Because in that place, that's when they needed rain. Now, the shaila is, what do we do all other places that are not in Bavel? Like in America, wherever you are, not Eretz Yisrael, not Bavel, what should you do all over the world? So the Rosh, one of the foremost Rishonim, Rabbeinu Asher. By the way, Rabbeinu Asher was very interesting. He originally lived in Germany.
Ashkenaz, huh? When?
Ashkenaz.
When did he live?
He lived around 800 years ago. And the Rosh lived in Germany. He was a Talmud of the famous Mayor Rottenburg. Rottenburg is a city somewhere in Germany. And the Mayor Rottenburg was the one who actually was locked away. He wanted to escape because there were a lot of decrees against the Jewish people there.
And he refused to be received.
And he was escaped, and on the way when he escaped, he was a Meshumad, a Jew who converted, saw him and realized who he was, and reported him to the local police where he was escaping. And they caught him and brought him to the king and everything, and he was considered very leader of the Jewish people in Germany. And it was like a crime that he was running away. So they took him and they locked him up in a tower. And he refused. Now the king wanted for him a tremendous amount of money to ransom him. Pidyon Shvuim. Mayor of Rottenburg did not allow the Yidden to redeem him. He said it's such an exorbitant, that's the word? Exorbitant amount of money, and if they're going to be able to do it to him, they'll chop another leader, they'll do it again and again and again, and there's no end to this. So he's not allowing it. So no matter what the Yidden wanted it was an unbelievable amount of money. They would have to sell things and sell their jewelry. They were willing to do it for him, but he did not allow them. Now his Talmud, he had a student, the Rosh, Rabbeinu Asher. He understood that there could be issues with him, so he managed to run away. He escaped and he came into Spain, to the Sfardim, and he lived by the Sfardim, and he was a tremendous Talmud Chacham, and he wrote many, many Sfarim, and he became a Rav and a Sfar Shakil. So he might have been the first Ashkenazi Rav in a Sephardi Kehillah, which was very uncommon then to have Ashkenazi living in a Sephardi Kehillah, Sephardi and Ashkenazi. It wasn't like today where everyone lives together.
Rabbi Hecht was
right? When the expulsion of Spain, so that it happened after the expulsion of Spain. People was more common because there was a lot of people were expelled. The Sephardim were moving, but at that point, the Ashkenazim were living in their lands, and the Sephardim living in their lands. So there was no mixing, there was no connection. And maybe there was letters back and forth, but there was no. Over here he moved there, and he was welcomed by the Rashba, another one of the great Rishonim, Reb Shlomo ben Aderes. He welcomed him in. He stayed by his house as soon as he came for a week or two, and they came over and they had a very enjoyable time together, talking Torah the whole time. And eventually the Rosh settled down in Spain, and he got himself a position in the Kehillah, became a Rav there. Now the Rosh, his Rebbe was a Mayor Mirottenberg, or Mereinu Harav Mirottenberg, Maram Mirottenberg he's called. And Maram Mirottenberg had many, many Talmidim. Many of the Rishonim learned by him. So the Rosh was the foremost Talmud. There was another Rishon called the Mordechai. His name was Mordechai, and called the Mordechai. He learned by him. There was another one of the Rishonim who was named after his work. He wrote notes on the Rambam. He was one of the Rishonim at that time. He already wrote notes on the Rambam.
It was at the time of the Rambam?
Maimonides.
The Rosh, about the same time, no?
A little bit after. Right after. I think there's even a place where he mentions the Rambam in his work. Mm-hmm. He mentions the Rambam once in a while. But right after, medieval scholars. So Lamaisa, he had a lot of Talmidim, the Maram Mirottenberg himself ended up being nifter in this tower. He was nifter like 7 years later. Now, his students, even though he was not allowed to leave, he did allow his Talmidim to come visit him there and to learn from him. So they used to come to him in this tower, and they would make minyanim there, and they would learn with him. But he was not allowed to leave. And they were not allowed to bring him things also. There was an issue with them bringing things. For example, they couldn't bring him a Sefer Torah. There were things that there's a whole story about the Sefer Torah that he wrote himself a Sefer Torah in prison. And in Lamaisa, he knew he was going to be nifter. He didn't want the Sefer Torah to remain in the prison. So he had to get it out. So he put it in a box. He put a message in it, and he lowered it down. There was a river near the tower. He lowered it down from a rope, and he put it on the river. And the Kehillah found it. The Goyim tried to get it, but the Goyish fishermen couldn't chop it. Only Jewish fishermen were able to take it. And this Sefer Torah remained till World War II, in the city of Worms. And the Fiedek writes that he saw the Sefer Torah, and he looked inside, and he says they read it maybe like twice a year, maybe Simchas Torah, Shavuos. And once a year they read from the Sefer Torah. And he went to check because Alter Rebbe has a shita that there's a certain word in the Torah, B'tsua Daka. This Daka is a machlokes if it's the Daka is Dalet Chaf Hey or Aleph. It's spelled with a Hey or Aleph. Alter Rebbe's shita was with an Aleph. Friedrich Rebbe wanted to see what the Maram Mirottenberg Sefer Torah spelled, and he said it was with an Aleph. He recorded that he saw the Sefer Torah Kishayisi Worms, when he was in the city Worms, he saw it. So now Maram Mirottenberg ended up being nifter there, and now the king did not even allow his body out. He did not allow his body out, unless it's ransomed out. Wow. It sat there for many, many years, till there came along a Jew.
Till there came along?
A rich man, a rich Jewish person, and said he's not going to allow this. and he's going to pay the money. And he gave it on condition that he's going to be buried. The Chaver Kadisha should bury him next to, when he is nifter, be buried next to the Meratimer's caver.
With the money he gave.
Kachava, that's what happened. And to this very day, this is one of the few old cemeteries that the Germans didn't destroy. It's still in Germany. You can see this cemetery. And
Where is it, in Rottenburg? Or?
I don't remember the name, but it's available. I have seen a picture. Someone has shown me the picture. I met someone who's a researcher. There's a shliach labor in Troy, New York. And I was visiting them, and he's very into genealogy and history, and he has a website where he helps people find the roots and everything. And so he has people taking pictures of different cemeteries all around Europe, different places. And he posts them.
And Troy?
He's a shliach, one of the shluchim there, and he has a lot of side hobbies that he does. This is one of the side things that he does. And if people go and travel to these places, he asks them to take pictures, and he has people taking each. So he showed me the actual picture of them, those two graves right next to each other.
What's his name? Which guy?
Alexander, maybe. Then after that, I thought that this was like only he had it. Later on, I saw someone else had the picture was displaying somewhere else. Maybe one of the art newspapers, the Jewish magazines, had a picture of it. But they're both buried next to each other. And they say something happened that he asked that after he did it, the Ma'amid Atma came to him in a dream and told him that you're going to be. He has a choice of what reward he could choose from. I hope I'm not making a mistake, but that's what I remember. That it was with him, the story. And it was either he can have a long life full of riches and everything like that, and very, very long, and a lot of children, a lot of gashmistic things, or he'd be nifter right away, but he will be next to him in Alam Haba, something like that.
So what did he choose?
So he chose to go to Alam Haba. Maisa, I think it's I might be messing up the story, but the Chabad Chassidim used to say over. One of the Chassidim said over. A big Chassid said that really he thinks that he should have chosen the other choice. Why? Because in Alam Hazeh
you can do more.
You can do more than more Torah mitzvahs, and Torah mitzvahs have even more than Alam Hazeh.
This Rottenberg is related to the lawyer Rottenberg, a very big law firm.
The Rottenbergs today come from there. I don't know. You know that the Gerer Rebbes, I think they come. The Gerer Rebbes, their family name, the way they are called today is Alter. All the Gerer Rebbes, their name is like, but that's not their real name. Alter is a name they took on. When they had to be a certain time, they had to change their name for certain purposes. I don't remember what the reason was. They changed it to Alter. Their real name is Rottenberg. That's their real name. Today they're all called Alter.
The Ger
Rebbes. They're ready for a while, but a few generations are called Alter, but that's not their original name. At a certain point, there was a need for legal reasons or whatever it was. Some reasons they needed to change their name, and they took on the name Alter. Aleph Lamed Taf Resh. Not like the Alter, which is the first name, which is with a test by the people whose first name is Alter. His last name is Aleph Lamed Taf Resh.
The altar. Here in Hebrew, the altar. The altar, I mean, from the past, you have to do something. Maybe it's...
Okay, anyways, so the Rosh, we got into this because the Rosh, Rabbi Osher, was a Talmud of the Menachem Rottenberg, and he managed to escape afterwards. When he heard the Menachem Rottenberg was caught, he right away escaped. Now, he tainted, our minig that we have, that we follow, Bavel, does not make any sense. It says every area, every country should ask for rain when they need rain. Whenever the planting season is in that area, that's when you should ask for rain by you. In Babel, they asked 60 days later. That's when they needed rain. But we who need rain right after Tishrei, we should ask right after Tishrei. Because already in the middle of Tishrei, they start planting. I don't know how it is in America, but this was in Europe. So, this doesn't make any sense that we're blindly following what happened in Babel. And he explains himself, he said, this is not like, we know the rule, the klal is, whenever you have machloikis of the Talmud Yerushalmi, Talmud Bavli, We follow the Bavli. So but he said that doesn't have anything to do with this. It's not pshat we have to do everything they do in Bavel, because even the people that are in Bavel, the Chachamim would tell you that if you were somewhere else and the planting season was different, you should do like that place. It's not a machlokes. You're supposed to every place as the rain the way it is. Even though the Rosh Hashita makes a lot of sense, however, L'maisa, the minig is not like the Rosh. Already, the Beis Yosef, the Alter Rebbe, the Shulchan Aruch, the early poskim when he say the minig is not that way, and that's the way it is taka today, that we still follow Bavel. Obviously, there must be some ruchnistic reason, because we don't see any gashmistic reason for what we are doing. Maybe the planting season up there is this way, but the planting season down here, every place is different.
Bavel was a lot of big Abanim.
Yeah. Especially, by the way, that in the southern hemisphere, where below the equator, where it's mamish directly the opposite. It's not only different planting times, it's a few weeks earlier, a month earlier. Right now they're starting their summer. When we start our winter, they start their summer. And soon, same time that we do on December 5th, in the middle of their summer, they're going to be saying, we're saying Talmud to bring us rain. But rain, we learned earlier, is a kalala in the Sachama. But this is the minig, and this is what we do. So it's a very interesting thing, even though the Rosh Hashita makes a lot of sense, but it's not miskabel lahalacha. One thing is, the Alter Rebbe does point out, since we have the sheet of the Rosh, that everywhere in the world we should do like Eretz Yisrael from Zayin Cheshvan on, everywhere besides for Bavel, in places like Bavel, that region, if someone b'di Eved, right now, he makes a mistake, and he says, the saying Tal Matal Vracha, you don't go back.
You don't go back.
Because according to the Rosh, you actually should be asking right now the same Talamata. So Eina Chinami Lachatchila, the minig is not like the Rosh.
But
For whatever reason, we don't know the reason. But b'di'evet, if you did, you don't have to go back, you don't have to be chayz on the tefillah. Because Zayin Cheshvan already came. Okay, so Adkan we learn. Now, by the way, one thing the Alter Rebbe says, even though we don't follow the Rosh, but in those places, if they do need rain in our summer, let's say during our summer, it's by them winter, and they need rain because it's now the planting season, and the country needs rain, there's not enough rain, they can add the same Talamat Levracha in Shema Kileinu. You can add something, but they don't ask like a tzibur, they don't all change the nusach. The Chazar Sashat doesn't say it. The private Yechidim will say it in the same Talamat Levracha. You could fast and you could say slichis and say pesukim about rain, but not the Shemana Esrei itself. We don't change the Chazar Hashatz, but the private one you could say in Kata Shemei Tefillah.
In Shema Kolenu only?
Only Shema Kolenu, because you're always allowed to add private Akash Shema Kolenu. So you're not changing the nusach. It's not a contradiction to the minute.
In Rufeinu, can you add names in?
Every bracha you could add, but according to what that bracha is about. Shema Kolenu you can add anything. For Einu you can add a name, but it's only about refuah. You can't start sticking in other things.
Right.
I want to win the lottery, that doesn't fit in.
That's for Shema Kolenu.
Someone told me that there was a video of the Rebbe where someone asked if they one time bought a lottery and they won.
If they should buy another one.
The Rebbe said, but only one.
Only one.
Did he explain or no?
Did he explain why?
Did he explain why? The Pashas, the reason is because for all you need, the reason why you're winning is because Hashem made you win. Hashem only needs you to get one ticket to win.
Right.
Not more than that.
No, I think it diminishes the bitachon that somebody has.
It's the keli. You have to just make a keli. Once you made the keli, you did the keli. Shtadlut. More than that, it's already showing that you consider that's not Hashem. It's you're doing it.
The Caliber Rebbe is like a zun to be refuah shlema, but 20
needs
years
refuah
ago,
shlema?
the Caliber Rebbe.
Ah, yeah, right. Yeah, sure. Refuah shlema.
20 years ago, my son-in-law is a big chassid. He took me to Williamsburg, and he told them that we have open house, a baby Shabbat, we have 40, 50 people. So I'm coming to him, and he asked me, you give it to first the gabbai, the name and everything. He told me, I need a bracha from you. For me? I need a bracha bracha for him. So no, you give me a bracha, tell me. He insists that I will give him bracha. We live together till Mashiach. And then he told me, your son-in-law told me, what you doing? Play lotto. He told me, play lotto.
That was the word?
I'm playing till today, I'm happy. But you never know. He didn't say how much, so just play lotto.
Okay.
So maybe that's the only thing you can play is lotto.
Nah, I mean everything from the lotto.
Okay.
Why power is no good?
I don't know.
They say a
You
joke.
think his word
They say a
is-
certain person, a certain very rich fellow, he said that every day is $1 richer because he didn't buy the lottery.
He's right. They're right.
Okay, Siv Beis. So we know when we start asking for rain now. We worked it out in Eretz Yisrael, Zayin Cheshvan. The rest of the world we follow Bavel, whether we understand it or not. The meaning is we follow Bavel 60 days after the full equinox, which is usually December 5th. Siv, till when do we ask for rain? Till when is She'ela, the Chiyuv to Shaila? Beis ad Mosai Shoylam Akshamim at Tfilas HaMincha Shel Erev Yom Rishon Pesach. On Erev Pesach, by Mincha is the last time. The last time you say Baruch Aleinu, the weekday Shemon Esrei is the Mincha of Erev Pesach. Misham ve'elech, that is the last time. Poiskim Lishol, we don't ask anymore. K'moy shepoiskim lasker. Just like when it comes to Shmini Atzeres. Oh, I'm sorry. Just like we stop to remember Mashiv haGeshem, remind Hashem, as well we stop Lishol. Lahaskir and Lishol we stop. Afilu koidim shepoiskim lahaskir. Even before one stops mentioning Mashiv haGeshem, what happens? Gegoin shetah. V'hischeh b'lo yom tetfilas chayil. If someone made a mistake and started to daven Yom Tov night, weekday davening, it's the first night of Pesach, and he davens the weekday davening. He's in the middle of Shemon Esrei. V'nisken, he remembers Achar shehischel Birchas Hashanim. After he finished Birchas Hashanim, shitzarich ligmar oisa bracha. Once you start a bracha, the halacha is you have to finish it.
Which Malchut?
Yeah. Lo yemer v'sein talamata, don't say v'sein talamata. Shari af lahasker yimedin lahas v'yomtiv. Let's talk about this outside. The halacha is that we say on Pesach we daven tefillas tal, right? We start saying uMorid Hatol. But the main thing is, like we explained last week, the main thing is that we stop saying uMorid haGeshem. The fact that we say uMorid Hatol, it's a minig, it's not a chiyuv. Actually, Ashkenazim don't even say uMorid Hatol. We daven tefillas tal, but the ikir is that we stop saying Mashiach uMorid haGeshem. So that means, when is the last tefillah we say Mashiach uMorid haGeshem? The last tefillah we're maskir, that we mention Geshem, is Shachris, the first day Pesach. But when do we stop She'ela asking? When do we stop saying Baruch Aleinu? The last time we said Baruch Aleinu is Erev Pesach by Mincha. So Erev Pesach by Mincha is the last time we do She'ela. The last time we do Haskara or Maskir is Shachris on the first day of Pesach. Now, there is a halacha, and I think we might have learned this once here, if I'm not mistaken, maybe we did, that on Shabbos, Shemon Esrei, we don't daven the Shemon Esrei the weekday. The reason for this is, why don't we ask? We need these things all the time. We should ask on Shabbos also for Shleim, for all these beautiful things. The answer is that Shabbos, we don't want to matriach, tirchadi tzibur to daven long Shemon Esrei. Of the Shemon Esrei of, we have a long enough davening on Shabbos. To daven the Shemon Esrei of the weekday, we don't have to daven. But that, because of this reason, because this is the reason, if someone made a mistake and he started davening and he said, Akel HaKadosh, instead of starting to say the bracha for Mein Sheva on Shabbos or Yom Tif, he starts to say Ata Choynin L'Odem Das. As soon as you say Ata Choynin, you have to finish the whole entire bracha.
The bracha, not the whole Shemona Esrei.
No,
Only the bracha.
that bracha. And after you finish that bracha, Because it's not right to start a bracha and not finish it. You start it, and it's not a bracha levatala. You say it,
Good.
you say the bracha, you say Baruch Hashem Chenadas, and you go back to your Me'ein Sheva. You don't have to go back to the beginning of Sheva. So you stop there and continue to your Yom Tov Shemoneh. And what happens if you continue more brachas? The same exact halacha. Whichever bracha you're holding, you have to finish. So if you start saying Baruch Aleinu, you have to also finish Baruch Aleinu. Right. So what happens at the first night of Pesach? You by mistake, you were davening a weekday Shemar Esrei, and you said Baruch Aleinu. Oi, I'm in the middle of it's Yom Tov tonight. What am I doing? I'm not thinking b'chalal. So you want to go but you have to finish the bracha now. Only when you finish, you continue. Should you do she'ela? Should not do she'ela?
I don't think you need she'ela.
So the next day, when are you stopping to be maskir? By Shachar is the last day of maskir. She'ela, generally, there's no she'ela on Yom Tov because there's no choil, tefillas choil, we don't say Baruch Aleinu. But he made a mistake, but because of this mistake, the halach is you have to finish the bracha. Should he say the same Talmud or no? Alter Rebbe says no, don't say it. Why not? Why not say it if you're still saying Mashiv haGeshem until the next morning, till Musaf? Shach is the last field. Why don't you also be shoyal? Say the same Talmud. Explains Alter Rebbe like this. Really, even Mashiv haGeshem, we should stop already by night. Really, we should stop. It's Pesach. Now it's starting the summer, the spring and the summer. It's Chodesh Aviv. No more. We're not asking for rain anymore. Even by night, we should stop. Why don't we stop by night? Since by night, not everyone comes to shul. Those days, not everyone came to shul on the night at the night davening. So some people are going to stop. Some people at home are not going to hear the Gabbay. They're going to daven at home. They're not going to. Some people are going to do. We want everyone to do together. So we wait till next morning by after Shachas.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So because of this, comes out that really even Haskara, even being masker should have stopped by night. So therefore, this person who made him the last she'ela we do is Mincha Erev Pesach. He made a mistake on the night of Yom Tov for Shachris the next morning, and he says that Tfilas Choyel is the middle of Baruch Aleinu. Remembers he has a chiv to finish till Baruch Ata Hashem Baruch Hashem. However, he shouldn't do she'ela because even though he's still being maskir, Mashiv haGeshem, in that very same tefillah he said Mashiv haGeshem, and he's allowed to and he should. However, when it comes to she'ela, really, even Mashiv Ruach, he really should have stopped that night already. Just, we want to stop together. So since everyone already stopped saying the same Talamat Levracha, and you're just doing it because of a mistake, don't continue, don't say it. It's clear?
Clear.
Don't say it. Let's see it inside again. Let's learn Sif Beis again from the beginning. This is the whole Sif Beis, we said it outside. Ad Maseh Shem Gshamim, till when does some ask for Gshamim? Ad Tfilas HaMincha Shal Erev Yad Shal Pesach. Misham Ve'elach, there and on, you don't daven anymore. Weekday davening. Poiskin Lishal. You stop to ask. K'moishe Poiskin Lasker. Just like we stop mentioning it. Just Mashiv Ruach, you continue until the next day. Afilu Koidim Shepoiskin Lasker. Even before we stop mentioning it, you still have to stop asking. Going, for example, Sheta, someone made a mistake. V'hischil below Yom Tov, the night of the Yom Tov made a mistake and he started Tfilas Choyel. V'niskan, he remembered Achar shehischil Birchas Hashanim. After you already started the bracha Birchas Hashanim. Which halach is then, Shutzarech Ligmer Ois Bracha, you have to complete the bracha. Kamei Shizbar is explained in Hilchah Shabbos Siman Samachas. In that case, Lo Yoimer Bav saying Talamotor, don't say it. Why not? Sharei af lahaske hoyeminadin. You're mentioning Mashiv haGeshem, because reality is even Mashiv haGeshem you should have stopped saying the night before. She af lahaske hoyeminadin lahafsik below Yom Tov. You should have stopped the night before. Al she'echere ad Musaf Chazal pushed it off till Musaf. Shemshum ke'ein kol ha'am mitzuyim b'tei knesses b'layla. Not all the people are in shul at night.
But this was
people are davening at home.
Today, everybody come to shul. This was 100.
Still today, the night is not as much as the day. The Kiddush is by day.
That's why.
V'yihu agudes agudes. And there will some people will start. Some people. By the way, he's not talking about the people are not davening. He's just saying they don't come to shul. They daven at home. They don't come to shul. So it's not going to be. We want to stop saying Mashiv haGeshem together. Those people at home, they don't know, they don't have a gabay, they don't have a shamish, no one is telling them, there's no announcement. They're going to forget, they're going to say, so we're going to have Klal Yisrael half doing like this, half doing like this, 3/4 like this, 1/4 like this. But you agudis, one group will be like this, one group like this. Im Kain, therefore, b'she'ela. When it comes to Sheila asking, the whole community already stopped. The last one is Mincha Erev Yom Tov. He just made a mistake, but everyone already stopped. So to he who made this mistake, Yisrael should not ask anymore, because the whole Kehillah stopped. So there's no problem, Agudes. Mashiv and haGeshem, we don't stop at night and by Shachris, because it's going to be Agudes. But the same Talamater, everyone stopped, because that's a Tfilas Choyel. Everyone stopped davening. You don't say Baruch Aleinu on Yom Tov. Just you made a mistake, so you don't say it. So too, if it was the night of Shabbos. Now is the opposite. What happens, by the way, when we're going to start saying, we're saying Talamot, I have to look at the calendar, but on December 5th, what happens if it falls on a Shabbos? You don't start on Shabbos.
Right.
You have to start by Ma'ariv. What's the Shabbos? Because on Shabbos we don't say Baruch Aleinu. So it's pushed off a day. What happens if you make a mistake on Shabbos, the same mistake, and you started to say, but it's the opposite. Until now we're talking about the siyum, stopping to say Sheila. What about the beginning point? You start, it's on Shabbos, and you make a mistake on Shabbos, and you start saying Baruch you're davening the weekday Shemoneh Esrei, in the middle of Baruch Aleinu you remembered. We said that you have to complete the bracha. Should he say the same Talamater? He's on December 5th is the day. So say no. Since the whole Kehillah didn't start yet,
So you
only start at night.
So you have to follow what they do.
They don't start at night, so you continue finishing the bracha without it. Let's see when December 5th is. It has December 5th here, but they don't tell you you're supposed to start saying the Mashiv and haGeshem. But it's on Chanukah. So it's Wednesday, it's not on Shabbos, it's a Wednesday.
Yeah.
One thing, this calendar over here, for some reason they managed to tell you when Boxing Day is in Canada, Yudches Tevis, but it doesn't let you know. You should say Mashiv and haGeshem over here. It's very important. You should know when Boxing Day is in Canada.
Wow.
Very important.
Boxing.
Mashiv hoRuach,
They don't.
don't tell you.
No, if they be Mashiv hoRuach, be Ruach, so that they not play boxing.
They took it out.
That's why. They don't want you to have Ruach.
Yeah. Okay. L'mais is azoi. So let's see it inside. The ending is the base. V'chein im ha'she'ela hi b'lo Shabbos. So too, if he starts saying the same Talmud or falls out on a Shabbos, Friday night, December 5th is that Friday, on that Shabbos, I mean. V'ta yochid, and a person made a mistake, v'spalo shel chol. He davened the weekday Shemoneh Esrei. Lo yishol, you shall not ask. Kiven shat tzibur lo yischilo dayin, shayochid nigrach at tzibur, b'chol mokim. The Yachid always follows the Tzibur. Sif Gimel. In the earlier Siman, we learned Kuf Yudala, it was all discussing Haskara, Maskir. Now we're talking about Sheila, this whole Siman. So remember, if we said the halacha is, what happens if after Pesach, after the first day of Pesach, he was Maskir, Mashiv and haGeshem. Instead of saying Moed Hatal, or not saying anything like the Minhag Ashkenaz, he says Mashiv and haGeshem. What's the halacha? You're supposed to stop. But he said it. So he said the problem is that Eina Chanami, you don't have to say Moed Hatal. It's not the issue that you missed out Moed Hatal. But the problem is you said Moed haGeshem, and the Gshamim is a Siman Klola in the spring. The summer, you don't want a rain. So you have to be Choyzer to say over the bracha because you mentioned the Siman Klola, the bracha. Same thing is with She'ela. And then we were talking about Haskara, being Maskir. Mashiach Moed haGeshem. Same thing as someone said the same Talamat Levracha on Chol Moed Pesach, let's say. or after that till Shmini Atzeres, he made a mistake. He said after Pesach v'sein tal matal bracha. He didn't say v'sein bracha. He has to go back because he said it's a klola. It's a klola. We don't want rain now. Who wants rain now? People want to go on the vacation. They don't want rain.
But why Simon Klala, but the Avads, another country, they go according to the
You're
Rosh.
in your country. You're in your country. It only works in your country.
But the Avad, if you
By
make
the
a
Rush,
mistake.
it only works if you're in that country where you are living.
Oh, it's not different.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. By the way, the Rush himself holds that everyone has to do it that way. It's just the Alter Rebbe said that if you made a mistake, you can rely on the Rush, but only that place if that's the planting season started already.
Okay.
From Zayin Cheshvan on. Siv Gimel. Someone asked for rain after the first night of Pesach, the first day of Pesach. Whether you remembered the middle, whether you remembered afterwards, so you have to go back to the beginning of the bracha. Because the klala, like we explained, by haskara, the same thing as by sheila. If you did not recall until he said a few other brachas, still in all, he has to go back to go back to Baruch Aleinu. To go from there and on, say all the brachas. And Lachor as well, if you finish the whole entire Shemoneh Esrei, you have to go back to the beginning of Shemoneh Esrei. Say over Shemoneh Esrei again. Siv Daled. Recall when we spoke about Haskara, about being maskir, we said if someone made a mistake and did not say Mashiv haGeshem, like nowadays, when we just started now Shmini Atzeres, Tfilas Geshem, you do, and if you made a mistake, you said Moed Hatol. Those that have the meaning to say Moed Hatol, so your tongue, instead of saying Mashiv haGeshem, you're used to saying Moed Hatol. We said, but the Eved, you're not Choizer. You don't have to go back, because you said a Shevach to the Eibishter. The Iker of Haskara is that you said a Piyus, and you Meshabech the Eibishter before you're going to ask him. But the Eved, the Shevach of Tal is enough.
Good.
It's a good Shevach, but the Eved. Now, what would be Benegea She'ela regarding asking? If someone forgot to say Mutter, the same Tal Mutter, but he said the same Tal, he didn't say the word Mutter. So he asked for do.
How is possible?
Yes, it's not really. It doesn't really happen. But if someone said the same Tal, hypothetically, he said the same Tal. Oh, so do we say the same klal, the same rule that we said if he said Moed Hatol, it's good enough? No, because it's different. That doesn't work. Over there, the nekuda is that I'm not. When I say by my maskir, I make a mistake. I say Moed Hatol. The ikr is I'm not asking now. I'm just being maskir. So I mentioned another shevach. Over here, I have to ask for rain. You didn't ask for rain. She'ela. Right? Siv Gimel. Siv Daled, I mean. Im lo yishal matim mesak shamim. If you did not ask for rain during the winter time, machzir noisei. You have to go back. Afilum shal tal. Even if you ask tal. By the reason why you have to go back b'chlal to Shemoneh Esrei is because it's a chazal or mechayev. It's not a minig. It's a chiyuv. You have to go back just like Yalav Yaveh, anything else. It's a chiyuv and chazal. You have to be choizer. But the chiddush is over here. Afilum shal tal. Even if you asked for tal, you said the same tal. It's not enough. You didn't say omater. She'elo in a doim al haskara. She'elo is not doim with haskara. She'hiskir tal mokim geshem machzinoisi. The halach is when you mention tal, Moed Hatol instead of Mashiv haGeshem in machzinoisi, you don't go back. Why? Shaskara hu sidi shirish mokim. The whole point of haskara is being mesader shevach of Hashem. V'hirodas hatal igamkin shevach lo yikimei hirodas haGeshem. This is also praise, just like Hashem has the koyach to bring rain, it's the koyach to bring dew. So, just when you're asking someone for something, of course you want to praise the specific, the melech bosav adam, you praise the specific thing you want from him. But even if you said a general praise, it's also an ingen. It brings out that the person will order the person to give you what you want. Just like a child wants the father, so suddenly he's very nice and everything. Lav dafke, the shevach has to be specifically about the ingen that you want. L'chatchila, yes, but the ever nicht. Alo b'she'ela, tzarech lishal kol davar ha'mevili de bracha. Hein tal and geshem. You got to ask for everything you need brachas. Tal, geshem, that's what you need. Ein tal oilam mokim geshem. Tal is not constitutes it's not instead of Geshem. But still, we have to remember Tal. Even though we ask for Tal, we say the same Tal uMorid both. But Tal's not a chiyuv. Tal Chazal never mentioned. That's she'elas Tam and Haskaras Tal is not a chiyuv. It's a minik. B'kolmakim lo yishal Tal and machzinois. You don't have to go back. For example, someone said the same mutter without the word Tal. Again, not so probable. But if it happened that someone skipped out the word Tal, made a mistake. You don't have to go back. She'elas Tal ein ela minik shechachamim leichivu klal b'Tal loy b'she'ela v'loy b'haskara. There's no chiyuv. Now, what happens if someone said Baruch Aleinu and he forgot to say the same Tal uMorid bracha? Say the same bracha. And we're talking about after Mitzvah Chanukah. During Chanukah, we're going to change. He stops, he forgets. And he says, Baruch Atem Hashem Baruch Hashanim. He remembers right away he forgot. Before he says Kab B'Shofar. The halach is you could say it right there. Hayois didn't start the next bracha. So I didn't finish my bracha yet. I'm just continuing my bracha. I'm adding some words to my bracha.
Ravi is
Yeah. Yeah.
You see, by the Sfaradim,
the Rush.
they have Barech Aleinu, and then they have Barachenu. They not make this mistake.
The whole bracha is different.
It's like one page is Barech Aleinu, and half the page is Barachenu.
Yeah, it's a much bigger tefillah. It's a much bigger tefillah. The whole tefillah is Geshem.
What I'm saying by the Ashkenaz is one tefillah, in the middle is a
Right,
Not
not all Ashkenaz. Karlin Stolen says that also. Karlin Stolen.
Yeah?
Chassidus. This Chassidus. Interesting.
Maybe the Sfaradim didn't know.
Whatever it is. I don't know, whatever it is.
Okay.
So if you before you said Kab B'Shofar, you could say it right away. If you remember after you said the word Ka, it's already too late in the next bracha. However, you don't have to go back to the beginning of Shemoneh Esrei. You can wait till Shemei Tefillah and say it in Shemei Tefillah. You can ask for the same Tal uMorid bracha in Shemei Tefillah. Let's say it inside.
Any bracha that
Sifhei.
you want
Lo
to
yishal mutter. Someone didn't ask for rain. V'nizker koidim sheyischol Kab B'Shofar. You remember right before you started with Kab B'Shofar, Shayla Shem asked it over there. But Nechshav it's considered ki'ilu as if Shoyla b'soich Berachas Hashanim. He remembered the middle of Berachas Hashanim. V'mizker la'achar sheyischol Kab B'Shofar. If you remembered before you started Kab B'Shofar, koidim Shemei Tefillah, but before you said the bracha Shemei Tefillah, ein machzir no yisai. You don't have to go back. V'shoyel b'Shemei Tefillah. Ask in the Shemei Tefillah before Kiyata Shemei Tefillah is called peh. Stick it right in over there. We're saying Tal uMorid bracha because you can add into Shemei Tefillah any bracha tefillahs that you need. Mash'enki b'haskara. But haskara, this doesn't work. Meaning, if you forget Mashiv hoRuach haGeshem, it doesn't help to say Mashiv hoRuach Tefillah. Why? Because Shemei Tefillah is for requests. Mashiv hoRuach haGeshem is a shevach of Hashem. It doesn't fit in over here. It doesn't fit into Shema Kileinu. We, anyways, don't have to go back for. I think that everyone around the table. I don't know if everyone, but has the minig that we say Moed Hatol. So as explained before, if you say Moed Hatol, instead of Mashiv hoRuach, they have the Yotze. By Ashkenazim, we had someone here last week in the Shir, that his minig Ashkenaz, they don't say Moed Hatol throughout the summer. They stop saying Mashiv hoRuach haGeshem. So by them, it's more of an issue if they, in this winter time, forget to say Mashiv hoRuach. Pshat is not, they didn't say anything. So for them, they don't have this eitzah to go say it in Shemei Tefillah because it doesn't belong there. It's a shavach. It's not a shayla. The ein lo inyan b'Shemei Tefillah has no shaychus to Shemei Tefillah. The top of page Shilam Avav. Ve'im hu shari b'tainis. If what happens if someone is in a tainis? So when you have a tainis and he says anenu, we say anenu in Shemei Tefillah. Person is having a private tainus and he's saying tainus. In Shemei Tefillah, he's supposed to say anenu. We always say anenu on a tainus. So when should he say the same Tal uMorid? He also needs to say the same Tal uMorid because he forgot. So he has two things to say: anenu and the same Tal uMorid. Such a person. What should he say first? Imushari b'tainis, the top line, Sarach loymar neinu v'shemei tefillah. And he needs to say it. Anenu. Yoy remember saying talamata koydem anenu. Say it before. She'ela chamura anenu. She'ela is more serious than anenu. She'lei amra klal machzino isay. She'enkim anenu. If someone forgot to ask to say talamata levracha, you have to go back to Shemon Esrei. You're finished. You have to go back to the bracha baruch aleinu. Mashenka anenu. If you forgot anenu, you don't have to go back. On a tainus, if someone remembered on a tainus sibur, tainus yachid, someone forgot to say anenu, does not need to go back. L'kach roi lakdimi, therefore it's better to say it first. What's more important comes first. B'nisker ach, what happens if someone forgot the saying talamot levracha, even then, shemei tefillah. B'nisker acher chasima shemei tefillah. But he remembered right after he said the words Baruch Atah Hashem Shemei Tefillah, Ichap, before he said the word Ritzei. He could say it right there. Because again, you're still in the bracha of Shema Keleinu. Because he didn't start the next one, it's a hemshich, it's a continuation. Kodesh Yisrael Ritzei, Oyim V'sein Talamater. V'yach Maskal Ritzei, V'nechshav Ki'ilu Shoyel V'Shemei Tefillah. However, what happens if you forgot it even then? He started Ritzei. If you did not take 3 steps back, you go, not even 3 steps, even any step back. You go back to Baruch Aleinu. If you went back, again. If someone finished davening, so he does not say Lakai Nitzar. We have the meaning of saying Lakai Nitzar, which is this Tachnunim. We ask private Bakashis. Lakai Nitzar, L'shoyni Meira. It's L'shoyni, my Lashon. It's all B'Lashon Yachid. Yilratzin Imrei Fi. The whole entire Shemon Esrei is not B'Lashon Yachid, it's B'Lashon Rabbin. We ask as a Tzibur. Baruch Aleinu, Rifa'einu. Everything is us. Everything is us. However, the last field is private tachnunim. So if a person, it doesn't have the meaning to say tachnunim after davening, then afa bishaloi akar aglav dinei ka'akar.
Even once they start.
So once you, even if you didn't go back your 3 steps, you said yiratzin mifehagin b'fanach, the first yiratzin.
That's it.
That's it. You got to go back to the beginning of Shemoneh Esrei. You can't go back to Baruch Aleinu. V'hu adin actually says the same thing would be in Rogalem Tachnunim. If you do say Lakai Nitzar, these beseechments, the Siyim Tachnunim, and you finished it, you said the second Yehul Ratzin,
The end.
Mm-hmm. That pasuk itself is also considered Siyim Atfilah, even though you did not walk 3 steps back. But Shemamiris pasuk zeh also Hesach Hadas Miloy Tachnunim. That's your Siyim Atfilah. I'm finished davening. I'm not davening anymore. V'nish Mitfilah say Tfilah is finished. Therefore, now you have to go back to the beginning of Shemoneh Esrei. Adkan, we finished all the dinim of She'ela L'Haskara. Just to give a mamash a kitzer nimritz, and we'll go to Ma'ariv. The dinim of She'ela, we, Amrit Hashem, going to in all outside of Eretz Yisrael, all places we do Shishim Yom, 60 days after the full equinox to Tufas Tishrei, which is December 5th in most years, in the middle of Hanukkah this year. If someone forgets to say She'ela is a chiv, you have to say Tal is not a chiv, it's a minig. If you forgot to say the same Talamot L'Bracha, you have to be chayzer. Go back to the beginning of Baruch Aleinu. If you forgot afterwards, you go say the Shemei Tefillah. Right after Shemei Tefillah, before Ritzei, you could say it right there. After Ritzei, you have to go back to Baruch Aleinu. After Shemoneh Esrei, after you said the second Yehul Ratzin, even if you didn't take 3 steps back, you have to go back to the beginning of Shemoneh Esrei, because you finished Shemoneh Esrei. Now it's too late. You can't just go back to Baruch Aleinu. You can't correct it. This will be Negeya Amrit Hashem Chanukah time. Negeya Mashiv hoRuach, which is Haskara, which is Negeya now, Hayois that we always say Meideh Hatol throughout the summer, and when we don't say Mashiv hoRuach, we say Meideh Hatol. That covers us b'diavad, so we do not need to be chayzer. Even though Be'etzem Haskara is also the same importance, and in Indian, if you don't say it, if you don't say anything, you would have to be chayzer. Meideh Hatol is a substitute b'diavad as a shevach for the Eibishter, and b'diavad you're good to go.
Nowadays it would be to prepare cars. To have cars before Shemona Esrei, the same Talmud to put into the Siddur. People are not going to remember the halacha. You're not going to remember if they said the same Talmud. They said what they said.
So some Siddurim have next to Baruch Aleinu, they have inside. They say the halachas inside.
Yeah.
Well,
Prepare cars, very hard.
more often than not,
The dinim, you're saying.
you'll see it up there.
In the Tehillas Hashem Siddur, the Chabad Siddurim have it right before Baruch Aleinu the dinim. So, but then Tfilas Choil, but Tfilas Choil you have the
You
dinim.
got to be along.
By
The
Shachris.
regular people, you have car, a child. What
Yeah.
are you going to teach them? You gotta-
I hope that this helped the shir because when you understand the background, it's easier to remember the dinim.